I'm sorry, what was that? What? Oh, there's no glass in front of me. What? Yeah, not opening this one. And it's not because it's expensive, because we've definitely opened more expensive things on this gig, as you know and recall. No, it's out of the reverence of the fact that this wine is a bona fide rarity. This is a wine that does not get produced very often. And I say that, funny, because this is a 2016, all right, so this wine's 10 years old. And the last one they produced was the 2009. So when you produce this wine twice in like 20 years, am I just going to go rifling bottles of this? I don't think so. I want to sell this to you. This is special stuff. This is very, 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 very special wine. This is a Castell'in Villa, Toscana, Santacroce. And Santacroce is one of the earliest Super Tuscans out there. Pardon me, I'm going to have to go to my phone because her name is so... Coralia Pignatelli della Leonessa. We call her the Principessa around here. That's our term for her, the Principessa. She likes to do things the traditional way. Always has. Even with, when I say traditional, she was buddies with Giacomo Takis, right? The guy that created Tignanello, Solaya. She was buddies with him in the 70s. So it's not like she didn't have her finger on the pulse of Tuscany. On the contrary, girlfriend was ahead of the game. But her whole gig from the start, just like Quintarelli, just like Soldera, just like these iconoclastic producers, was, okay, I'm going to make the best wine, but I'm going to make it in the most traditional way. In this case, it's all native indigenous yeast ferments. All the grapes are come from her estate in Castelnuovo Beredenga. So she's down in the south of Chianti Classico, near Felsina, San Felice, some of these other producers, Arceno, some of these other producers we talked about. Well, let me preface that. No, they're next to her. Let's rewind that. Just to make that point. Gorgeous vineyards down here. And Santacroce used to be a 100% Sangiovese wine. And then she changed it up, I think in the 80s or the 90s, into a 50% Sangiovese, 50% Cabernet Sauvignon blend. And then she basically just decided to stop making it. No, not decided to stop. She's picky, shall we say? Finicky? To the point of what? Twice in 20 years? So 9 was a warm year. 9 was a gorgeous year for Cabernet Sauvignon. So the 9, of course, was produced back then. The 2016 has a slightly different story to it. As you know, 2016 is one of the greatest vintages ever in Tuscany. Ever. The only one close to it in the last decade has been the great 2021 harvest. In 16, Coralia endured an illness. It was a long-standing illness. And accordingly, what happened is at the winery, because she's very hands-on and kind of one of those like, you're on a need-to-know basis. And basically, there were casks, large barrels, the Botte Grande, the big barrels, casks of Sangiovese as well as Cabernet Sauvignon that had undergone extensive aging because of the situation that came about at the winery. When the wines were gone through and everything, the smoke had cleared, when the dust settled, they went through the barrels, and what was in the barrels was dynamic, like ridiculously stunning, like stupid, like on your knees type wine. And only then did the winery decide that a Santacroce could be bottled and produced. So here it is, the 2016 Santacroce. Again, 50 Sangiovese, 50 Cabernet Sauvignon, all done in large Botte Grande, all native yeast fermented, all from older vines in Castelnuovo Beredenga on the Castell'in Villa estate. This is a legendary wine. 97 points from Galoni. You know how many times Galoni gives out 97 points, right? Dude is picky, right? Picky as hell. And he calls it shockingly fresh for a wine of its age, which means it tastes like a barrel sample still. He says, this is a great wine. It's not Sangiovese, It's not Cabernet Sauvignon. It's not a blend. It's simply Castell'in Villa at its most profound. Good words, great words. I could, elaborate on that, but there's no elaboration beyond that. I think he hit the nail on the head here with this wine. We special ordered this in ourselves. There's 120 bottles that we were able to secure from the winery. It is $79.98 for a wine of this caliber with this kind of mojo behind it. It is a bargain, a ridiculous bargain. And I only hope you guys buy some of this from us so you get the opportunity to see just how special a property Castell'in Villa is. We're drinking Chiantis. We had the opportunity in the last couple of years to drink Chiantis from them from the 1970s, and they're mind-blowing wines. Even vintage like 77, 74. And the 16 Santacroce, while 10 years old, is still a pup, and is going to be one of the best wines in your cellar over the next 20 years. Click and buy this wine. This is a public service announcement to you guys. This is a WineX Spectrum Warm Fuzzy PSA. You need this wine in your life. Click and buy this wine. Of course, like us and subscribe.